I'm Adrianne from Indyoga, and I'm here to bring you a 30-minute sequence for swimmers. So yoga for swimmers is basically to help you improve your time in the water. And swim flexibility is all about stealth within the water. As an ex-competitive swimmer myself, and also now just an open water swimmer, I know that yoga has improved my swimming technique and also my form within the water. And the most important things for us to consider when we're in the water and we're swimming, is that flexibility of our neck. When we're breathing, opening that side of that neck to be able to breathe both sides. The flexibility within the shoulders, within the ability to be able to reach, for our strokes, or even if we're doing, just a breaststroke or a front crawl. But also, importantly, to bring flexibility into the lower body, so into the ankles as well, because, we need our feet to propel us through the water. So just a short sequence, make yourself comfortable, and we will begin. So taking a nice comfortable seat for yourself. You can either sit cross-legged, or you can be kneeling, or the legs can be out in front of you. Take the backs of the hands to the knees with the palms face up, and just feel that the fingertips are nicely relaxed. They don't have to be nice and tense. We're just going to come to a little breathing technique here, because breath is all important too when we are in the water. However, in the water, we breathe through the mouth. We exhale either through the nose or through the mouth into the water. And in yoga, we breathe through the nose. So taking a nice deep breath in through the nose. Exhale through the mouth. Let it out. Sigh out. Take a couple more. Breathe in through the nose. And exhale through the mouth. Sigh it out. And then last one here, breathing in. Filling the entire body with oxygen and nourishment. And exhale. And closing the mouth, breathing in through the nose and breathing out through the nose. Just trying to regulate that breath, equal inhale to equal exhale. And each breath cycle is the same length as each other. Using the exhale to release any tightness or tension within the body. Using the inhale to draw in energy and vitality. Just taking a few more deep breaths here. Trying to get used to the pattern of your breath so that that can carry you through your practice this morning. And then nice and slowly, just opening the eyes and And just releasing the legs out in front of you, taking the hands back behind you, and just windscreen wiper the knees out to the side. Just release into the hips and the spine. And then maybe you wish to come back into that comfortable seat again with the opposite leg in front. May feel a little unusual because we always have a preferred side. And just dropping the chin down towards the chest. You're going to feel a nice stretch into the back of the neck. Try not to lift the shoulders up towards the ears. Try and lengthen the shoulders down. And keep a nice length within the spine. So shoulders in line with the hips. A few deep breaths here. Feel that stretch as you exhale. And then bringing the head back into center. And then lifting the throat. Lifting the head up towards the sky. Try not to compress into the back of the neck. Open through the chest, through the collarbones, and relax the shoulders away from the ears. And then bring it back into center. Turn the head over to the left shoulder. Feel that stretch coming down the side of your neck here into the shoulder. A few deep breaths. Again, breathing through the nose, in and out of equal length. Breathe in, bring it back into center. Exhale, take it over to the right. And then nice and slowly bring it back into center. I'm going to drop the ear to the left shoulder. And maybe you wish to increase this stretch for yourself, intensifying it by bringing the hand up to give you some additional weight to the head. I mean, the head is heavy anyway. So relax the shoulder down. And maybe you want to reach those fingertips out towards the side. Go nice and steady. And slowly release the hand and just gently lift the head back up. And exhale, take the head over to the right shoulder. And maybe you wish to take that hand onto the side of the head. Exhale. Let that hand be heavy on the head. Let the head be heavy towards the shoulder. Nice deep breaths through the nose. And then bringing it back into center. So semicircles with the head. So we just go ear to shoulder to shoulder. So we take the ear to the shoulder and we semicircle around. Just find some mobilization within the neck joints. The 7 cervical vertebrae that protect our spinal cord. Extremely fragile. So be really careful when working with the neck. Just being aware and noticing any clicks, crunches, any grinding of muscles. Allow the head to be heavy as it drops forward. Just a couple more. And taking it over to the other shoulder. And bringing it back into center. And lifting the head up. Again, release the legs out in front of you. And just windscreen wiper those out to the sides. I'm going to bring the soles of the feet together here. And they don't have to be too close towards the body. They can be a little bit further away, but try and just get the entire foot to connect. And then just fold the body over those legs. So you can relax the entire body. Let the head be heavy. Deep breath out. Feel that stretch all the way from the base of the skull, maybe coming right down to the spine. And just take a check-in with the rest of the body. What else you might be feeling? What other sensations? Relax the shoulders. Just a nice spinal flexion. And with each exhale, maybe that head comes a little closer towards the earth. Slowly rolling up through the spine, bringing the shoulders in line with the hips. The last thing to come up is the crown of the head. Hands come back behind you, fingertips face forward. And just relax into the shoulders as you draw the elbows in towards the middle of the body. And then press into the mat to open through the chest and open through the upper back. Again, being aware of what else you might be feeling within the body. If you're feeling some tension within the hips or the legs, try and let that go with each exhale. Inhale into the heart space. Exhale, release everything. And then slowly bring back into center. Lifting the right arm up. We're going to take a nice little side bend. The sides of our body are equally as important. So imagine that you've got this really deep stretch coming from the side of the hip all the way to the fingertips. Try not to bring the body forward and just open through the rib cage. The arm may not be too far over the head here, but you can always just reach a little bit further on each exhale. Try to draw that shoulder downwards as you reach with the fingers. Bring it back into center, coming to the other side. Breathe in and exhale over. Again, try not to bring the body forward at this point, but open through the rib cage. And you can always introduce the head in any of these poses, as the head can always look up towards the sky. It's your choice here. And deep exhale, and bring it back into center. And just lift the knees together and give yourself a little hug here. Taking the body towards the thighs, relax the head and the neck in between the knees. You may feel a stretch across the back of the shoulders into the upper back. And then if the hands were crossed at the wrist, take the opposite hand over. And nice deep exhale. And then nice and slowly rolling up through the spine once more. Head is the last thing to come up. We're going to come to kneeling. If kneeling is an uncomfortable pose for you, you can always place additional blankets underneath the knees, or place them underneath the thighs and between the calves. So trying here to get the tops of the feet nice and flat. And you're stretching into the ankles here. So we're coming into an ankle stretch, which is again great for that flexibility for those feet to be able to move and propel us through the water. So just nice and gently bring the hands back, and the weight goes back in towards the lower body. And then you can start raising the knees as much as you feel comfortable here. This is a deep stretch into the front of the ankle and into the tops of the feet and the arches. Try and keep those heels tucked in towards one another rather than splaying out. It's quite a deep stretch. Try and hold for a number of breaths. Try and find that stillness. Give a smile to yourself. It always helps. Don't have to go too far. Legs start to tremor. Just work with that for yourself. Just notice what's coming up for you. And nice and slowly coming back. And just releasing the feet back behind you. And just move the ankles if that's comfortable for your knees. So coming into a gentle cat and cow. This is a mobilization technique through the spine. So we're in tabletop position. The wrists are underneath the shoulders. Knees are underneath the hips. You're drawing up in towards the abdomen. The spine is nice and straight. Crown of the head reaching away. As you drop the belly, you open through the chest and you breathe in. This is your cow. And then as you exhale, drop the chin towards the chest, press away from the mat and draw high up into the upper back as you tuck the tailbone under. This is your cat. So as you breathe in, it initiates that movement through the mobilization of the spine. And as you exhale, you tuck the tailbone under, tuck the chin towards the chest. So just do a few for yourself, just finding, the speed and your rhythm of breath. The breath initiates the movement. Inhale to open, exhale as you curl. Do a last one here. Really opening through the chest, the shoulders, the throat, and exhale into cat. And then coming back into the feet, tucking the toes underneath you. Try and get the toes as far underneath you as you can. You're going to be giving yourselves a toe stretch here. So maybe you're kneeling, and again, just make sure that your knees are protected with padding. But really try and get those toes under, and the ankles are in line. And sitting just nicely upright. Press into the toe beds. Find that nice even breath. Spine is nice and long. You're nice and relaxed in the upper body. Take all the focus and the breath of release and exhale down into the toes. Holding for a couple more breaths. If you need to come out because of pain or discomfort, please do. But if this is challenging for you, try and bear with it with your breath. And nice and slowly, just releasing the hands and releasing the feet. Give the toes a little wiggle. You're going to come into a wide leg child's pose. So the toes come together. Knees come to the outer edges of the mat. And just shimmy the hips from side to side here. Try and release into the hip joints. Release into the buttocks. And then reach the arms forward as much as you can as you exhale the chest downwards towards the mat. The forehead comes lightly to touch the mat. And you feel that wonderful stretch all the way from the fingertips right down back to the base of your spine. Breathe deeply through the nose. Equal breaths. And just drawing the hands back towards you, closing the knees. This is our reverse prayer, so this is going to open up through our shoulders. And I'm just going to turn my back to you slightly so you can see where our reverse prayer may go. And this might not be possible for you. That's okay, depending on your shoulder opening or even your wrists. So if that's not possible for you, you can always just touch the fingers or touch the fists together, or maybe just hold onto the hands behind the back, wherever it goes for you. We're going to be in our child's pose. So the arms reach back behind us. We come into that reverse prayer, and then we fold the body forward. Again, relax the head down towards the mat. Relax the buttocks. Relax into the hips. Breathe into the wrists. Breathe into the shoulders. Holding for a few more breaths. Nice and slowly release the hands and just turn the palms face up towards the sky, allowing the shoulders to rest down by the knees. Let go. Deep breath out. Nice and slowly bringing the hands in front of you, pressing up into tabletop, tucking the toes and just pressing back into a bent-legged forward fold. Take the feet a little bit wider than hip width. Feel grounded through the soles of the feet. And you can create some length within the spine as you keep onto the fingertips, or you can use a block here if you have one handy on any of those heights or levels. Just keep lengthening the tailbone back behind you and the crown of the head away. And then once you've found that space between the hips and the thighs, exhale and fold the chest downwards. Take hold of the elbows if that feels good. And maybe sway from side to side from the waist. Let gravity do the work for you here as you just release the hands, and then maybe you can give yourself a little bit of a lift into the sit bones as you come into that deeper forward fold. Try not to lock into the back of the knees. Nice softness. You may feel a deep stretch all the way up the back of the legs. Let the body be heavy. And then nice and slowly, just going to reach the arms back around us, interlace the fingers, and depending on your shoulder opening once more, open the shoulders and exhale. The arms are heavy and they want to fall forward. Try to resist that temptation to prevent them unless you feel you're going to a place of pain. So really just try and allow the arms to fall forward as much as your opening of your shoulders allows. Deep breaths into any tightness. And slowly bring those arms back to the base of your sacrum. Release the arms and then release the knees and come all the way down onto our belly. So just bringing the big toes to touch, heels fall out to the side, sway into the back and the hips. Let go of tightness, gripping, clenching within the muscles. For additional challenge, you can keep the toes and the heels together, or you can take the feet a little bit wider and at hip width, parallel. Pressing the tops of the feet into the mat, we're going to reach the arms forward. Head is in line with the biceps. We're going to ground through the pubic bone and the hip bones and lift the upper body only into a half locust lift. Breathe in, reach away. As you exhale, the body folds down and the arms come out to the side in a bent elbow cactus pose. Breathe in, lift up from the lower ribs, and as you exhale, lower the body and the hands come behind you with the palms face up by the side of the hips. Breathe in, reach the fingertips back towards the toes. And as you exhale, those arms come back around into that cactus. We're coming back to the front. Breathe in. Arms are nicely in line with the shoulders. And as you exhale, the arms reach forward. You lower down. Last time, breathe in. Reach the fingers away. Press the pubic bone, the hip bones into the mat. Hold and breathe. Imagine someone's pulling your fingers away from you. Lift up a little higher onto the lower rib cage. And then nice and slowly release. Exhale. Trying to find some strength in the core and into the middle and the lower back. Let go as you shimmy into the hips. And we're going to release back into kneeling. So you're going to come back through tabletop. You're going to release through child's pose on the exhale. And as you breathe in, you're going to roll up through the spine into kneeling. So we're going to come into what's known as eagle arms here. So this is a deep stretch across the shoulders and into the chest. The arms go out to the side and the left arm comes in front of the right. Now here may be enough for you, and this might be a good place for you to start. Or here, if you can't actually draw the arms together, you can try and connect the fingers and keep the elbows apart. So you've got many different variations and we've all got different shoulders. So if you're coming into the full pose, the left arm comes over and maybe the palms connect to one another on the side. So here we draw the shoulders down, but we lift the elbows in line with the shoulders and we reach the fingertips up towards the sky. Have a nice length within the spine. Just close the eyes. Take a few deep breaths. This is known as eagle pose. A few more deep breaths here. Keep lifting the elbows, rising the fingers up towards the sky, drawing the shoulders down the back, softening through the lower ribs. And nice and slowly release the hands and press through the palms out to the side. Imagine you're holding two walls that are coming in towards you. Relax the shoulders. You're going to feel that deep stretch into the wrists, into the palms, into the arms, into the shoulders, and slowly release. Circle through the shoulders a few times one way and a few times the other. Coming into the other side, again, taking your option, either bringing the palms together and the elbows together, or they may be apart, or you cross the opposite arm in front and you return into that eagle arms. Relax the shoulders down the back and away from the ears. Lift the elbows, soften through the front of your body. Breathe in, close the eyes, and find that focus in towards how this is benefiting you and your swimming. The breath, the focus, the opening of the shoulders, the opening of the back. A few more breaths. Nice and slowly release the arms, take them out to the side, press through the palms, relax the shoulders. And release the arms down as you just circle through the shoulders. Well done. And circle the other way. Doing great. We're going to come down onto our backs and just take a nice slow roll down here through the spine. So you ground yourself through the feet and then just draw the abdomen back in as you tuck the tailbone underneath you and slowly lower yourself down towards the mat, connecting each and every vertebrae as you lie back. And then just bring the knees in towards the chest. And just notice how the spine feels right now, how the openness of your chest, your shoulders feel for you. Try not to take tension into the face or the throat when we work with reclined postures. So we're going to take the legs and the arms up towards the sky. This is our dead bug pose. So really try and keep the pelvis nice and flat and relax and spread the shoulders. You know, the shoulders aren't lifting up with the arms. The shoulders are nicely spread out. So you're really, imprinting your spine, your body into the mat. Close the eyes here if you wish to. This is dead bug pose. And just find some nice stillness. Give a smile to yourself. The knees can be bent depending on how tight the back of your legs are. But you can always just drop the knees in towards the chest if that feels uncomfortable to keep the legs straight. Try not to keep the legs too far away. It takes a bit of pressure into the spine, the core, and also into the hips. And try not to bring them too far forward. Think about those ankles always being in line with the hips. Nice and slowly, just rotate through the wrists, through the ankles. You're drawing big circles with the toes, big circles with the fingers, circling one way, noticing clicks, crunches, and then circling the other way. Really trying to get as much movement within the wrist and the ankle joints as possible. Again, it's all about that ankle flexibility, but also our arms and our hands as well when we're swimming, and then drawing those knees in towards the chest once more. We're going to take a gentle twist, so opening the arms into cactus. Backs of the hands come down onto the mat if that feels comfortable for you. Release the shoulders, release the feet to the mat, and then just take the knees over to the right hand side. Try to keep the chest open towards the sky. You might wish to increase this stretch for yourself by turning the head towards the left. And let go here. Taking a few nice deep breaths. Just tuning into the breath, tuning into the body. Trying not to lose focus when the mind starts to wander out of the body and off of your mat. And then slowly bring the head back into center. Bring the legs back through center and take them over to the other side. Again, try to anchor through the right shoulder, that right palm, the back of the hand and the elbow. Let the legs go, let the legs release. And just notice that twist within the spine, within the torso. It's a full axial rotation. Always introduce that extra stretch by turning the head over to the side. Swim flexibility means stealth in the water. Bring the head back into center, bring the knees back into center and realign through the hips and the pelvis, and then bringing the knees back in towards the chest. Roll, massage, circle, whatever feels good. Then coming into our final relaxation together just for a few moments in Shavasana. Shavasana is corpse pose. So taking the feet to the outer edges of your mat, try and relax the feet and relax the ankles out to the side. There's a natural rotation that comes up through the knees and into the hips. And just allow the hips to be nice and stable. Relax the buttocks underneath you and take as much space as you have around you. The arms can come out to the side of the body. Relax the shoulders. Relax the head and throat. Close the eyes. And take a few nice deep breaths here as you just settle into the mat. Shavasana is one of the most important parts of a yoga practice. And even just for those 30 minutes of a flexibility technique for swimming, still take these 5 minutes for yourself in relaxation. It might be the only 5 minutes of relaxation and nourishment, replenishment that you receive in your day. Try not to let the mind wander outside of your body. Tune into the breath as you just slow down. As you begin to deepen the breath, to just bring awareness back into your body, back onto the mat. Bring some movement back into the toes and the fingers. Maybe circling the ankles and circling the wrists, whatever you need to do. And just bringing the feet together, reaching the arms up over the head, maybe interlacing the fingers and pressing the palms away if that feels good for you, or just reaching the fingertips back. Nice deep stretch through the body, reach away with the toes. And then as you exhale, draw the knees in towards the chest, roll and massage out, and then just roll over to one side, pressing the palm down and bringing you up to a comfortable seat to close our practice together. And again, just returning to that seated pose that you began with at the beginning of your practice. Palms are face up towards the sky. You're sitting nice and tall. Just give yourself a little body scan here, all the way from the crown of the head, right down through every single part of your body, all the way down the torso and the spine, into the hips, the legs, the ankles, and not forgetting the toes. If you still feel tightness or tension anywhere within the body, just take a few nice deep breaths in and use that exhale to sigh out the breath. And then giving thanks and gratitude to yourself for showing up on the mat, giving yourself some time to your body, and also to improve your technique and flexibility when you get back into the water for swimming. Bringing the hands into the heart center in Anjali. And thank you so much for joining me. Namaste.